take a minute and just share what happened last night and how when we created a simple net, how God filled that net, and kind of what you experienced just last night at a burger joint, and how you can see, like I see, how if believers just create a net, God will fill it.
So last night we're at BurgerFi and in Fort Worth, Texas. We're there with our friend James Thomas. Shout out to the president. We were there and we're hanging out, we're having food, and we're doing what we call belong, which is family. And I think that should be a quote. Belong is family.
That's right.
That should be a shirt.
Should be a shirt. I like that.
But yeah, so we're there, and there's I believe 3 new believers there, and a couple guys that are in training right now to actually kind of do this, do life with people and disciple them. So we're there, and Chris leans over to our friend James, and he says, "Hey James, it'd be nice if you share your testimony." And so we're there, and I'll say this: it was such favor on Belong there at a burger joint last night that Chris goes over and asks the staff to kind of turn the music down.
Right.
They turned the music all the way off, completely, as James starts to share his testimony, and you could tangibly experience the Holy Spirit begin to show favor towards what's going on at the table. And so James begins to share his testimony. A guy leans down and he starts to have an encounter with God right there at the table as James is sharing his testimony. And at that point, Chris gets an urgency in the spirit to share the gospel, and Chris shares the gospel with the table. This young man gives his life to Jesus. He begins to get set free from anxiety and depression. And his friend, I'm watching the whole thing, and his friend begins to have an encounter with God because his friend was getting delivered. And so right there at a burger place, just a simple net created a place for God to move, and people got encountered. Young man got born again, which is amazing. Colossians 1:13 says, we get transformed from the kingdom of darkness to the kingdom of his dearly loved son. And so that's amazing. That's the ultimate miracle right there, is salvation. But on top of that, God so loves this young man and begins to set him free from anxiety and depression. And right there, he actually gets plugged into a family. And so we'll see this young man next week.
So what would you, for those watching this video today, what would you tell your everyday believer that they could do today to step into that, to create a net? Because we believe with 33rd Company that a net is just creating space for people. So how would you encourage the person watching this video to step into what we had that night at that burger joint?
I would say you have 24 hours in a day. I believe every single person watching this can take 30 minutes and tell God, "Hey God, I have 30 minutes, and I know you can fill this 30 minutes with a new believer." And on top of that, I will say too, because we believe here at 33rd Company, your mission is where your feet are. So just by stepping out and already having that time block set out, God will fill it.
That's right, man. It's that simple.
It's that simple.
It's that simple. Awesome.